Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Klonoa. In the last part we started off the game and now we're heading into Vision 2-1. And we're suddenly in our generic forest level. Now it's around here that the game actually starts to, be a game and not just be a tutorial level. And it also starts to hide its prisoners a bit more effectively. But one thing that you can always keep in mind when you're looking for prisoners is that you can always hear a bit of a wee-hee, this little crying sound effect when you're near one. In fact, there should have been one playing right then, huh? Well, I'm not sure if that's the enemies in this level or the prisoners. I've always thought that was the prisoners, but I honestly just can't tell. There's also around that you really have to start keeping in mind the fact that you can throw things in front and behind you, same with your wind bullets. Because, yeah. That's when they start having to make you use that a bit more. We also get our first big enemy. Big enemies cannot be killed by your little bullets. In fact, they only get inflated by them. You can kill them by throwing enemies at them, however. And they give a lot of gems. And the double fairy is there, so you can try and get the best score possible, as I mentioned last part. Actually, you know what? That might actually... The little winging sound effect I only am now realizing is the monkeys. Never mind then. We also started to get some, actual puzzles in this supposedly puzzle platformer. In terms of getting the, prisoners. Though they're very introductory. Now, one thing I mentioned last part that I was actually wrong about is, the fact I mentioned that Klonoa can do two things aside from jumping and the floating, which is his little wind bullet. Well, first off, this. That's delocked. Stop. Huh? Intruder! Who are you? Wait! I'm Klonoa from the Wind Village. On my way to see Granny. Oh, sorry. Strangers wandering around recently. Strangers? Door with picture of key. Need key. Use this key. Okay, thank you. For one key, one door. Forget not. Right. Then farewell. See ya. Even Klonoa doesn't know what the hell just happened. So basically, you get a key, you will use it to unlock a door. It's a fairly basic gimmick. Though, before I mentioned what I was already talking about, one little fact is that that guy there has one of the weirdest script changes in the remake. At the end there, he obviously just said, see ya, but in the remake, he says, Cheech Koopa. What the hell is a Cheech Koopa? Also, I should mention, next prisoner is in that rotating egg. But as I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted, Klonoa can do another thing in the remake that he can't do in this game, which I thought he could in this version for some reason. And that's a stupid wind move. Basically, when you shake the nunchuck, Klonoa surrounds himself and the area he's in with wind. I believe it slows down enemies, which is supposed to be useful, I think? Also, weird little thing, in the remake, they also changed Klonoa's design just slightly. To make him look more adult. And they actually had another character design they would have used if fan reaction to it would have been better. Also, it's around now they start hiding eggs, which is a thing. I don't think they hide any prisoners like that, though. Which, would have been actually a challenge to find. Also, well, I think I mentioned it at the end of the last part, but it's around now that the soundtrack really starts just to be good. Don't get me wrong, the introductory level soundtrack is fantastic. In fact, it was almost the intro song, but it's around that you're like, wow, this is like a really high-quality soundtrack. Which you don't really get often in kids' games, because that's what this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be a game made for kids, but it's actually surprisingly fun even for adults to play. In fact, that's something I don't like the stigma of, kids' games. Kids' games can be played by adults, and they can still be fun. Just because it's made for kids doesn't mean it can't be. Like this, Mario World. Like, the Mario series is made for kids, technically, but Mario World's one of the most fun platformers I've ever played in my life. So that's a stupid distinction that I really hope dies in a fire. Are you thinking of going beyond here? That's our plan. No can do. The fairy tree is withered, so you can't get any further. You mean we're stuck? Hey, who are you? I'm a soldier from Jugpot, the Water Kingdom. I was on an official mission to see Forlock's granny. Looks like I'm stuck. Say, did something happen in Jugpot? That's a state secret. Meanie. And we thought Granny could save our king somehow. King? Save? Nothing. Nothing. It's not safe out here, so little kitties should go home. I'm taller than you! Something's strange. I wonder if it has something to do with Gaudius. Looks like we can't go any further, so maybe we should go to Jugpot. Let's go. Alrighty then. So now we're heading to Jugpot, possibly one of the most redundant names I've ever heard. By the way, I should mention, even though I'm giving Hupo a really high-pitched voice like this, Hupo's actually a guy. Who's voiced by Lust for some reason. Mind you, he's supposed to be young, but still. Also, hi audio problems. Yeah, for some reason, my recorder really freaked out the music for this level, which is sad, too, because this is one of my favorite tracks in the game. My guess is that it has to do with the added effect of the waterfall sound bites. These spider enemies can be kind of tricky if you don't realize the fact that they shoot projectiles out at a certain timing. The waterfall! What? Whoa! It's flowing backwards. I see. That's why water to Forlock is stopped. And the forest trees have withered. But how? Let's go to the castle. For some reason, when I was a kid, I always thought the castle was a separate level, but it's not. Seriously, that sounds just bad. And it doesn't happen for the entire level either, which is weird. Anyway, do a double jump up here to get the first prisoner. And the second one's actually fairly short distance away with thanks to this jumping fish. Certain enemies obviously do spawn infinitely, so you can use them to figure out some of the small mini-puzzles this game has. Others, however, are one-time only, so watch out for that. Also, I really hope I don't run out of commentary for this game, because admittedly, while I love it, it gets kind of repetitive. Other than the story, which gets really stupid. It's supposed to be one of those deep and meaningful ones that you see every other kind of game have, but there are times where you can tell it's made for kids. Also, some enemies can be squished by the ceiling if it's a slanted one. However, they cannot progress past a straight wall. Actually, it's really weird. For some reason, Klonoa's design gets completely changed for Klonoa 2, at least in terms of clothes. He's wearing a lot of blue in Klonoa 2. And here he's wearing a lot of red. Also, you don't actually have to do this little double jump I just do there to kill that enemy. You can just fall right past him to get prisoner number 4. Also, you know what's pretty sad? This game is fantastic, but if I recall correctly from doing research before I did this Let's Play, the remake, as popular as this series was, and still kind of is as a cult fanbase, the remake only sold around 5,800 copies its first week, which is atrocious for a video game sale. Ugh. Which is sad, because the remake might be one of my favorite Wii games, even though I don't actually own it. I've only rented it from my library. Yeah, it's another one of those games. Though, mind you, I still think this game is worth it alone for the soundtrack. Anyway, we got some generic spike balls flying out of nowhere, I think. I think they're supposed to be coming out of the top of that base thing, but yeah. And you can also, if you're going for speedrunning, which this game actually probably does have a good speedrun to watch, you can just, during these sections, you can actually just completely use the double jump to massacre the platforming. In fact, I wonder how fun a speedrun of this game really is, because there's no real big puzzles in the game, aside from, like, the second to last level. So a lot of it would just be execution, I suppose. Yeah. And execution speedruns are a lot more fun to me than just pure luck ones. Mind you, I don't do speedruns often. Usually it's just like a good Metroid game or something, but yeah. By the way, what the hell am I standing on? Just a giant green ball random. It's just a random green ball. What the hell? Now, one thing I really want to praise about the game is actually its graphics, because Klonoa and the enemies are really well animated sprites, but also the way that the backgrounds look is just gorgeous for PlayStation. Reminds me a lot of Brave Fencer Musashi, actually. Also, here's a really strange thing. You can speed yourself up and slow down on a waterfall. Physics is dying. Mind you, what video game has actually completely competent, realistic physics? Anyway, here, grab an enemy after shooting that one with a wind bullet, and you can double jump. Oh yeah, that's a thing. The little things that we're shooting at enemies to pick them up is a wind bullet. We're technically inflating them, so we can throw them and have them explode. That's kind of dark when you think about it like that. Then again, Klonoa's nickname is actually Klonoa of the Wind, so... Oh, and those enemies there, I think I mentioned it last part, but they're completely invincible. They're pretty much the Gordos. Also, coming up, I apologize for any inconsistencies in my health and lives. Or health and gems. Wait a minute, I hear something. Help me, please. Someone please push the switch. To hit the switch, just shoot a wind bullet at it. Because, I'll just get into it when we're actually there. Thank you, I'm saved. No problem. What happened here? Well, weirdos came here and messed up the castle. Maybe it was Gaudius. Right. If you're going to the castle, I could take you there. Really? But, can you save my mommy? I want my mommy back. Back? She's probably under some evil spell. Okay, gotcha. We'll give it a shot. Thank you. Hop on my back. I'm Carol. Pleased to meet you. Same here. I'm Klonoa. I'm Hupo. Yeah, I want to apologize for inconsistencies in my health and gem count coming up. Let's go then, because my recorder crashed during the upcoming section. Also, if you haven't figured it out by now, whenever you see this, you're generally coming up on a boss. So this is the castle. Who is it? And yourself? I am Sidolf, the king of this castle. Ah, you're the brat the mighty Gaudius spoke of. Gaudius, I knew it. I'll put you in your place. Time for you to go away. Pamela! Well, we found Carol's mother. Mommy! You're mine, brat. Whoa, Klonoa, what are you doing? Yeah, for some reason my control gets really weird during this boss fight, so I have to unpause and unpause to fix it. Sidolf and Pamela is a really simple but really fun boss. There's the constant spike balls coming around that you have to jump over, and while doing so, Pamela is jumping at you, and eventually Sidolf will actually jump on a spike ball. When Pamela jumps at you, throw Sidolf at him to damage both of them, causing their HP to reduce. They have one other attack, which is to cause bubbles to go into the air, and you have to avoid them, obviously. Also, love the music here. Then again, I love the music in the entire game. That's the thing about this game. The not the soundtrack. The bosses are easy, but really fun. Then again, that's just the game in general. It's not a very hard game until, like, the very, very end where it gets oddly precise. This isn't my best take of the boss, but yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, my health and gem count is inconsistent because my recorder crashed during this boss fight for some reason. Oh well. Thankfully, the level wasn't that hard to redo anyway. Because yeah, this was all one level. The levels in this game get oddly long for a platformer. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. You know, the boss's health bar is also really weird looking, because it's constantly, like, rotating in two axes. Which is just kind of weird looking. They changed the life bar entirely for the remake. And I don't even know why the hell there's a fire symbol next to it, for it's considered the water boss, technically. Come on, get over here. Thank you. And Vision 2-2 clear. Not a very hard level, and the boss is fun. And now Pamela's getting purified of whatever the hell evil spell she was under that never gets explained again. Yeah, this game was made for kids. You call yourself the king of junk pot, you get beaten by this brat. Weakling, useless, no good. I'll be back. Oh, what am I doing here? I see, so I was under a spell cast by that Guardius character. I have a feeling he's plotting something against the Moon Kingdom. If that's the case, Forlock's Granny is in grave danger. Granny knows a lot about ancient legends. She should know something about the Moon Kingdom. And that's why Junkpot's water was made to flow backwards. To kill off Forlock Forest! What an evil end. Ruthless fiend. Klonoa, we have to get back to Forlock. Ahem. And I shall return the water back to normal. The withered trees should come back to life. Carol, here I am. Oh, my voice got kind of combined there. Take them back, Carol. Thank you, Klonoa. Mommy's back to normal now. Great. I'm glad. Let's get going. Okay, let's go. Okay. Yeah, my voice is getting all sorts of confused right now for some reason. And we're already back here. That was quick. Good luck getting back up the waterfall, though, Carol. That's you're not a flounder. Or whatever the hell does that. Thank you, Carol. You're very welcome. Take care. And thus, the level ends. But with that, I'm going to end this off here. Thank you guys for watching, and in part 3, we'll be moving on to the next vision. See you guys then.